welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here then welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you've never seen my face before then my name's Olivia and I post videos every Saturday and apparently sometimes on Thursdays, although you might have noticed that I haven't posted in 2 weeks. So obviously we had Blackout Tuesday, and then on the Thursday I had a video ready and I just didn't feel like it would be appropriate. I didn't feel like I wanted to put it up, and so I kind of was thinking about what video I could do instead that was kind of a bit more relevant and it wasn't just me like posting things about Black Lives Matter on my Instagram and then on my YouTube just being like, just acting like nothing's happened, nothing's going on. And so I've been working on this video for pretty much these entire 2 weeks. I've kind of been using this time to educate myself, and the reason why this video has taken so long to be ready is because the more I kind of educated myself, the more I've found out and the more I've wanted to include in this video. So what I'm doing today is I'm going to be showing you the stuff that's on my Depop, because at the moment everything on my Depop, and it will be for the rest of June at least, maybe a little bit longer, everything that is sold on my Depop, the money will be going towards the Innocence Project, which I will be talking about a little bit more in this video. So everything on my Depop is £5 plus £3 postage. So I'm just going to kind of be talking about that stuff, and also just talking about the Innocence Project and also racism in fast fashion and just in the fashion industry in general. But yeah, I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to say, so let's get into it. Before we get into the video too much, I just want to say that some of these items have been up on my Depop for the last 2 weeks, just because it's taken so long to get this video sorted, so they might be sold by the time this actually goes up. But I do also have 3 or 4 bags of clothes that I need to put up on my Depop, so hopefully they'll be going up sometime this week, as long as I can kind of get the photos sorted and everything. So be sure to check out my Depop. The link will be in the description box, along with pretty much everything I talk about in this video, and some petitions and useful links and stuff that you can go and sign. And if you've watched my wardrobe declutter, then you will know that I got rid of a lot of clothes, but I've sent about half of those to a refugee camp in Greece already, so if you don't see something in this video, that's where it's gone. And I'll also leave the information about that in the description box. So basically, if you want to know anything or check anything out, then look in the description box, because it'll probably all be there. In this video I'm not actually going to talk about the items being shown, so if you want any more information then you'll have to go to my Depop. But I normally wear a size 6 or 8, just to give you some kind of reference, and I'm 5'4", so if you're a similar size to me then that's good. As I've already mentioned, the money made from my Depop will be going towards the Innocence Project, which helps free people who have been wrongly convicted. I discovered this charity through the Netflix series When They See Us, which if you haven't seen yet then I definitely recommend you go and watch. It tells the story of the Central Park 5, and I won't go into too much detail because I don't want to spoil it for you, and I also don't want this video to be 3 hours long. But it's based on the true story of 5 teenage boys who ended up spending between 5 and 15 years in prison for crimes that they didn't commit, after they were forced to make false statements by police. Once an innocent person is convicted, it's very hard to get them out of prison, but over the last 25 years, the Innocence Project has helped release, I think it's about 400 people. I think that, like many people, I started to educate myself after the death of George Floyd, and on the whole I felt like I was already pretty educated. I read a few of the books that were being recommended, and although I can never truly understand it, I wasn't as shocked as some people who had started off with little or next to no knowledge. But then I saw a video on Instagram about fast fashion, and that was one of the reasons why I wanted to make this video in particular. I'm not gonna lie, I like cheap clothes. I think we all do. I think we're constantly being shown ads with massive sales, so we get used to seeing clothes for under £10, and it becomes easier to ignore the fact that they aren't made ethically. We see new trends, new clothes being released every single week, and so we ignore the fact that many of the people who make those clothes are massively underpaid, even within the UK. And of these workers, 80% of them are women of colour. The fast fashion industry relies on racism and consumerism, and these aren't things that I want to be associated with. And so I've decided that moving forwards, I will not be supporting those corporations. I've recently been using an app called Good On You, which rates a lot of brands on how ethical they are based on labour, environment and animals. And so I'm only going to be buying from brands that are rated highly and are more ethical. So if you do have any suggestions of ethical brands that you love, please leave them in the comments. But yeah, I will be still doing hauls and stuff, but just from more sustainable and ethical companies. Fast fashion, unfortunately, is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to racism in the fashion industry, but on a consumer level, it's the thing that we can have the biggest impact on by just consciously shopping. One of the best ways to shop sustainably is to buy second-hand, which is why I wanted to show you what I've currently got on my Depop. And I ask that anyone who is thinking that they need some new clothes just to question where you're buying them from and why are you buying them, because we really don't need as many clothes as we have. And I am definitely the perfect example of someone who has far too many clothes. It shouldn't have to be our responsibility, but until companies start doing better, we have to hold them accountable for their actions and tell them that they can no longer keep their unethical working conditions, their dirty little secrets. The more we buy from fast fashion brands and brands with unethical practices, the more we contribute and support this cycle of poverty, abuse and racism. I've got a lot more to say about this, but I don't want this video to be super long, so I'll leave a lot of info in the description box, as I've already said, and if you have any questions, then feel free to message me or leave a comment. And again, I would love to hear some of your suggestions of ethical brands that you guys shop from, so please leave those in the comments as well. If you've made it this far, then you're obviously dedicated, so thank you so much for watching, and it would mean a lot to me if you could go and hit the subscribe button. And as I said at the start, I have left a whole load of links, and obviously the link to my Depop will be in the description box, but also just to petitions and stuff that you should go and sign. So yeah, I'll see you next week.